Nymphaeum of Herodes Atticus at Olympia. A nymphaeum or nymphaeon in ancient Greece and Rome, was a monument consecrated to the nymphs, especially those of springs. These monuments were originally natural grottos, which tradition assigned as habitations to the local nymphs. They were sometimes so arranged as to furnish a supply of water, as at Pamphylian side. A nymphaeum dedicated to a local water nymph, Coventina, was built along Hadrian's Wall, in the northernmost reach of the Roman Empire. Subsequently, artificial grottos took the place of natural ones. Here, the spring, also known as the Exedra of Herodes Atticus, one of the most opulent and impressive constructions inside the Altis, was situated between the Temple of Hera and the Treasury Terrace. It stood at the end of a much-needed supply of pure drinking water brought to Olympia in AD 160 from springs east of the sanctuary and distributed by a dense network of pipes. Prior to that, water came from wells and was in short supply, especially during the Olympic Games when thousands of visitors flooded the sanctuary. The monumental spring comprised two tanks backed by a two-storied apse, which rose to a half-cupola. The apse, 16.62 meters in diameter, was of brick with polychrome marble revetment and had two tiers of 11 niches each, which held statues of the families of Antoninus Pius, lower tier, and of Herodes Atticus, upper tier. The central niche of each tier contained a statue of Zeus. Inside the apse was a large semicircular water tank. A marble bull, now on display at the Olympia Archaeological Museum, stood in its middle. It bore an inscription recording that Herodes dedicated the reservoir and its statues to Zeus in the name of his wife Regilla, who was a priestess of Demeter Shammai. An oblong basin, 21.90 meters long and 3.43 meters wide, stood in front of the semicircular tank. At each end of this lower tank a small circular Corinthian temple, 3.80 meters in diameter, enclosed a statue. These represented Herodes Atticus and Antoninus Pius or Marcus Aurelius. Several of the monument's statues are displayed in the museum. The monument is in a poor state of preservation. Almost none of the polychrome marble revetment has survived, while several pedestals and architectural members were reused in the construction of the 5th century AD Christian basilica. However, illustrative material helps the visitor to visualize its great opulence. Herodes Atticus was a very distinguished, rich Greek aristocrat who served as a Roman senator and a sophist. He is notable as a proponent in the Second Sophistic by Philostratus. Herodes Atticus was born in Marathon, Greece. In his childhood years, he spent between Greece and Italy. According to Juvenal Satire III, he received an education in rhetoric and philosophy. Herodes Atticus was educated by many of the best teachers from the Greek culture and Roman culture. Throughout his life, Herodes Atticus remained entirely Greek in his cultural outlook. Throughout his life, Herodes Atticus had a stormy relationship with the citizens of Athens, and before he died, made a reconciliation with them. When he died, the citizens of Athens gave Herodes Atticus an honorary burial. His funeral had taken place in the Panathinaikos Stadium in Athens, in which he commissioned to build.